This video will explain the innovative methods used to design this neighborhood and the advantages it brings to the residents who will be living within. The first thing that you'll notice is the curved streets that are void of intersections, allowing constant flow, which reduces time and energy to drive through the neighborhood. Looking at the site plan, what might not be obvious is that these homes are along a front setback that meanders from the minimum 25-foot setback to much greater distances. There are several advantages to this. First is that the streetscape changes scale, enhancing the sense of space better than if every home was at a consistent and monotonous setback. Second is that we can meander the 5-foot sidewalk to add elegance to the streetscape, further separating vehicular and pedestrian traffic, and give a wider swath of land for street trees to grow and mature. The third advantage to this particular curved street pattern is that it's designed to minimize grading impact by conforming to the rolling and varied terrain. Typically, when we design neighborhoods, someone has done a conventional plan that serves as a good before and after comparison. This prior layout somewhat ignores the natural terrain. This is why it is critical to not just look at a 2D plan, but instead have a proposal in 3D video so that city councils and planning commissions can see how the proposal works within rolling terrain. As you can see on the prior layout, street grades are very steep. This one area exceeds 27%. Some home relationships to the street would be difficult to construct. This is why we always include precise 3D video with every layout we design, so that we can present what will be built to the clients and cities that approve these neighborhoods. In fact, we have been the leader in virtual reality technologies specific to planning cities. By developing the setbacks and street patterns to minimize impact on terrain and avoid odd home-to-street grading issues, we can leave this heavily wooded site in a more natural state. At the entrance, there is a 50-foot wide buffer that will retain the heavily wooded trees along Ben Parks Road. Beyond that, there is almost 5 acres of open space that is used for the common septic fields, providing a significant amount of open space before the first home is seen. The initial homes are pulled back and angled towards the entrance. This provides an open, welcoming feel. There are 3 main types of homes within this neighborhood. The first homes are wider homes on wider lots. Because the lots are non-rectangular, the wider homes are on lots that are 70 foot wide at the meandering front setback line. The minimum side yard setback on all lots is 8 feet. Keep in mind that there are no homes that are parallel to each other, as would be typical on a grid subdivision. What this means is that the average distance between home sides is going to be much greater than the 16-foot minimum. After driving more than halfway through the neighborhood past the wider homes, there are 2 forms of higher density, narrower homes to allow for a more affordable price point. One type is the traditional rectangular home on a 51-foot wide lot at the front setback. The other is a home that allows a wider building pad at the front or rear of the home. This is made possible because of a consistent minimum 15 degrees side lot line relationship to allow consistent floor plans to be wider at the front of the home on the inside of the arc and wider at the rear of the home on the outside of the arc. By using architectural shaping, we are merging planning and architecture on a much higher level than has ever been done before. This method allows the interior design and the floor plan of the home to have significantly more living space than conventional planning would allow. Another aspect of this design that would not be obvious by only looking at just the site plan is that the angled relationship along the meandering setback allows increased viewshed distance throughout the entire neighborhood when people look out their front and corner windows. As one drives through the streetscape, home rears are never seen. Thus, those rear yards become more of a private space than a typical subdivision. With the exception of just a handful of homes, the majority in this neighborhood, when looking out their back window, will not see their neighbor, but instead vast areas of wooded natural land. The average lot size is 16,000 square feet, or just over 1/3 of an acre, and yet, we are still able to have over 46% of the total land and common open space. More than 40% of the lots are over 1/3 of an acre. So, in conclusion, we are proposing a neighborhood of 80 homes that allow an increased attention to architectural detail than would be typical of competing neighborhoods in a serene wooded setting at various price points, critical in today's housing market. One last note of interest, the team of Rick and Adam Harrison over the past 35 years designed over 1,800 neighborhoods in 48 states and 18 nations using these methods. What not many people know is that Adam graduated from Riverside Military Academy class of 1992 with top honors in Gainesville. So we do have a unique tie to your beautiful region.